can see my voice doesn't match what you see on the screen, but this is because this video was shot earlier and I'm just doing voiceover of a bunch of videos so you can go through it really quickly. But today I wanted to discuss the Lich King Fireside Tavern Brawl, which is a unique event for September only, and it's very fun, and you should certainly jump onto it and try it. Um, but you can't just go onto your game and play. In order to do it, you have to secure an invitation with Blizzard, and it's easy. All you got to do is go to battle.net, set up a fireside gathering in your area, and I suggest you do it for like 10 days, 7 to 10 days before the event, before you want the event to happen, so that Blizzard has time to approve it. Um, and then what happens is a day before the event, you get this fireside gathering thing for you, whoever set up the event. Then you go to the place, you set up your Wi-Fi network, as you can see here, and then all your friends, or all the people who go to your fireside gathering, will be able to connect to your tavern, to this inn. Um, Remember, this is only for September. So once that happens, you'll notice at the bottom, there's or right up there at the top, there's a fireside gathering. The people who click on it, they'll see the little lantern there, and they'll have to search for a nearby gathering. Then you go, then you enter the tavern brawl. And at first, you, the innkeeper, has to set the difficulty. But once you set the difficulty, you and anyone else who enters the brawl can pick any hero to fight the Lich King. And each deck is pre-constructed. So you can see right here we're using Warrior. We've set the difficulty to low. This Warrior deck is all like mechanics where you buff creatures that have damage dealt to them, right? So it's got like Cruel Taskmaster, Scourge Lord, Gramash, Rot Face, uh, Blood Razor, just things that a typical tempo warrior would play. As you can see, the Lich King, he plays crazy shit, and you start off with 10 mana for all the classes in this brawl. Okay, and you have 20 health. The Lich King has anywhere between 1500 health to 10,000 health or whatever, which you can set up, right? The innkeeper can set up. So what happens here is we're just skipping through, and you can see all the cards that the Lich King is playing. We're just going through it really quickly. I'm not even trying to win here. I've already beat it with my gathering group already. It was super fun. So what happens is you chip away at the Lich King's total, and then he eventually kills you, and you get to pick a second deck to fight him with, right? So you're going to see that in a minute. And what happens is whatever health he loses, it stays gone. And then so at this time, other people are fighting the Lich King as well, right? So here we go. Now I picked the second class. I picked Shaman. Shaman is one of the classes that doesn't have access to their Death Knight for this brawl. And their deck is a frozen themed deck. So it has cards like Snow Fury Giant, Frost Weapon, that one axe that destroys a frozen minion. And you can see the deck list right there on the right. That's the exact deck list for the Shaman deck. I find a Shaman deck to be really, really sucky, in my opinion. As you can see here, I'm getting hit by the Frostmourne. The Shaman deck is pretty poor, and you'll see right here as I die just extremely quickly because it's just a shitty deck. So it's all these frozen themed things, but it's not good enough. And right there I get hit for 11. It's hard to win when you get hit for 11. And at the end of the game, they show you that little screen where you can see how well you did, how much damage you did. So I'm moving on here. We're just going to choose a different deck. So we choose Mage. Is that the Mage deck on the side? Yeah, right? Is that? Yeah, that's the Mage deck. So the Mage deck is Fire and Ice. It's basically a bunch of elementals, and you get access to burn spells as well as freeze spells. It's pretty cool. It's pretty interesting. You don't get access to Jaina in this particular list, but you get access to a bunch of cool elemental and stalling synergies. And the deck is actually pretty good for the brawl because you can stall the board, um, and while you slowly, pick off the Lich King and deal damage to him, right? So it's a pretty good deck. You have a polymorph for things like this hard Hadronox. You get access to a Pyroblast. You get Arcane Giant. You get Cobalt. You get a nice little mid-range game. It's really a tempo deck. But that said, it isn't the strongest of all the decks to me. Um, but it is pretty cool. Remember, while this is going on, other people in the Tavern Brawl are doing the same thing as you. They're fighting the Lich King, and you're all uh, cooperatively bringing down the Lich King's total. And once you kill the Lich King, you're welcome to change the difficulty of the event again, or maybe you're fighting it and you realize that the Lich King is just too difficult right now. You as the innkeeper, can modify the Lich King's health. You can make it 10% higher, 10% lower, or you can reset the brawl and reset his health to the standard health totals, which is 1500, 3000, and 10,000, right? And right here, you can just see how effective like uh, this particular mage deck kind of is, because this is already longer than the warrior and shaman deck combined. But as you'll notice right here, the Lich King has some access to some crazy ass cards and synergies, and he is slowly but surely gonna kill me soon enough, right? As we move on. So we cut the mage short, and here we go to rogue. So what happens is after your first hero dies, you get to discover a second hero choice. So you can see here I chose the rogue, and the rogue list is a Jade N'Zoth Death Rattle list, right? And remember, you start off with 10 mana, so you usually don't want to mulligan the hard stuff. You want to get on the board ASAP, right? And the rogue list is actually pretty difficult, in my opinion. It's very value oriented, but this type of experience doesn't play well for value, because the Lich King is always going to outvalue you. He just has access to stuff that is just too good. So I personally don't like the rogue, even though you have access to Jade, because it just doesn't get big enough. Like, as you can see here, cool cards in there. Or you get access to Aya, you get access to Valera. So this is one of the first heroes that you can see you get access to the Death Knight. As this goes on. And yeah, the rogue deck has access to also cards like Shadow Blade, the immune weapon, which is kind of cool. So typically in a lot of the games, you'll realize that you can't really win the board back. So the game plan really is to smork face. Sometimes you just lose incredibly quickly, so you should use the opportunity to just get as much damage as you can um, to the Lich King's face. My play group was able to beat the easy mode Lich King, the 1500 health one, and we only had 4 people. We beat that in 20 minutes, or like 15 minutes. And then our second group, which had 7 people, beat the 3000 difficulty in like 25 minutes. So with a couple of guys doing something like 300 to 450 damage. And as you can see, it shows the damage right at the end there, which is pretty cool. And then, so yeah, you go, you choose more heroes. So yeah, you move on, you choose more heroes, and you see right here, we are going to pick Paladin. Paladin, I feel, is one of the strongest decks. It's more like a bubble Paladin, so a bunch of the mobs in the deck have Divine Shield. They have access to Divine Shield, as you can see here. Also, a cool thing to notice is when you're on your first hero, and the Lich King kills your first hero, uh, you maintain death rattles. They stay on the board, right? Or if they give you cards, those cards go to your hand. Right now, you notice that the boss is Sindragosa. So once you've reached 30% or a third of the encounter, when you bring the Lich King down to a certain life, he will call in one of his mini bosses. So this can be from anywhere from Sindragosa to Putricide to Marrowgar, and they all have their own abilities and their own deck lists. and all you have to do is beat them, like you've seen right here, and then the Lich King comes back in, and we go back to fighting him, right? And you see in this situation, still has access to Syndragos's cards, and he's fucking me up pretty badly right here. But the Paladin deck is pretty well off. It's got a lot of cool cards, cool sustained options. It does not have access to the Death Knight, but it's got all the cool stuff: Dino Size, Rag, Tyrion, Spellbreaker, Consecrate. You know, everything you expect from Divine Shield Paladin, really, right? It's a pretty cool deck. One of the things you do need to look out for is Kel'Thuzad. He can really do a bunch of bad and mean things for you, and Lich King loves to play him. And you can see right here, he played Corrupting Mist into a Kel'Thuzad, which is going to be worse for me. I should have killed the Kel'Thuzad, and I did not, which was absolutely silly. No, actually, I guess it's okay. You gotta be careful because on some turns he'll play uh, the Mist, and it'll be a huge issue because he'll bring back Kel'Thuzad and everything. I don't know how he does that. It's pretty amazing. But yeah, Paladin's pretty strong, as you can see here. We're just finishing off this game that you're watching right here, and then we'll go on to the next deck. But you can see right here, Paladin has got the tools to stay alive for quite a while. Lasts pretty long. Of course, be concerned about your Frostmourne usage and what targets you allow him to kill, because as you can see here, he got his own Tyrion, and that is pretty much the beginning of the end for me uh, in this particular list, right? So, but you can see the cool interactions with Rallying Blade, Divine Shield, and of course Bolvar right here getting a little buffer. But still a weak card overall. Mind Control, that's a sucky one to get hit by, right? And then we move on to the next deck, which is Druid. And Druid is actually very, very, very cool. So the next deck that we're going to talk about is Druid, and the Druid is a taunt-heavy deck and runs Ultimate Infestation, Hadronox, Malfurion, Ancient of Lore, Ancient of War, Spreading Plagues. It's just a really fun deck. Also runs Strong Shell Scavenger and Innervates, making it very, very cool. In this situation, here we go. Um, Typically what you want to do is just go wide on the board when you get the chance and use the Strong Shell Scavenger to buff your board. Right here you can see we're facing Marrowgar, so this is the second, well, in this case, once we got him to 30%, he switches to another mini boss, and here's Marrowgar. I'm just going to go wide on the board. And like the solo adventure versus Marrowgar, in order to kill him, what you want to do is keep the board clear at all times and then find 15 points of damage, right? That's how you kill him. Now speed up the video just a little bit so you can see what's going on here, because something crazy will happen in this game at some point. You'll find lethal, the board will be clear, and you'll have enough time to swing through with 15 points of damage. So you keep the board clean and you kill him off, like as you can see right here. And then the Lich King returns, and now you just gotta kill him. Now you gotta find the remaining damage to kill him. And you can see my hand is pretty crazy right now. It's a pretty wild hand. There we go. Steal something from this deck, just buff some stuff, and I'm just going to the face because I just want to find the damage, deal as much damage so I can end the matchup. And you see here, remember Frostmourne, your weapon, it works differently here. So when you kill things with it, its death rattle is you get those things back. So you can see I get the double Lich King here. I get some buffs. And if you notice on my hand, there's a Hardronox and a Play Dead. So you're going to get to see that effect. Now remember, all the creatures that you played, including the ones from your first character, they're in the graveyard when your second character comes in place. So if taunts died with your first character, when Hardronox dies on your second character, the taunts from your first character also have a chance of returning. That makes it pretty cool. So Druid is a very cool class in terms of planning out a strategy. It's a good class to get as your second hero. As you can see right here, we're finally losing everything on the board, so we're going to go with Hardronox into play dead. Bring back a board that's, it's okay. Not the craziest board. It's got a lot of stuff. And what's funny here is there's a Coliseum. Hardronox dies again, so we get another full board, which is just meme worthy, right? That's pretty fun. And yeah, we move on. Just try to get whatever damage we can. So here we're going to fast forward to my next game with Druid. Yeah, are we fast forwarding? Or am I just joking? Yeah, okay, here we go. So fast forward into my next game with Druid, where we're just gonna bring him down. Once you've brought down the Lich King low enough, he changes back to Arthas, and his hero power is the Frozen Bitterness or some shit, where he just deals damage to you that grows every turn. So he does 1 damage first turn, 2nd damage, or 2 damage the second turn, so on and so forth. So he puts you on a clock, which you got to race. And right here, yeah, you can see me racing it. His cards are different. I'm pretty certain that he plays a lot of these Death Lord kind of things, zombie-ish kind of things. What's he doing here? Yeah, Corrupting Mist. That's just such an asshole play, right? Um, Hardronox from your opponent really does suck, so you gotta be careful of that. And you won't see that here, but because other people are also playing the raid with me, after this, the Lich King will die, and we'll have to reset the encounter again to try it again, whether it be on a higher difficulty or more live, whatever it may be, right? So you can see me die relatively quick here, and we can get on to the next class, which is Hunter. So there you go. The Arthas kills me. I go to my second class. I pick Hunter, and Hunter to me is one of the stronger decks. It's a death rattle list. It has Sylvanas, it has N'Zoth, it has Dr. Boom. It has all the badass things that make Hunter very fun. But in this particular situation, we were just getting wrecked. Our opponent's just able to clear the board and kill us relatively quickly. But Hunter, I definitely think, is one of the strongest of all the decks choices that you have. You can really find a lot of damage, and it's a great deck to deal a lot of damage. I think I dealt 320 damage with the Hunter deck today, which is not bad. Yeah, I really like Hunter. I think it's pretty strong. But right here, we're gonna just switch out to the next deck, which is Warlock. As you see, we transition to another game really quickly right here before this game actually ends. Are we seeing that? Okay. Well, here we go. Next deck. Here's the end of another Hunter game. As you can see, the death rattles stay after your first hero dies, and here we pick Warlock as a second hero. You can see the deck list on the side. It's a sacrifice zoo Warlock deck, so you want to flood the board. As you can see, I'm flooding really crazily here, doing a lot of damage. But cards like that, Abomination, really shut you out. So obviously you need to find good ways to trade. To me, the Warlock deck is the weakest of all the decks. It just doesn't have enough tools. It's pretty weak. It's just not as good as Hunter, not as good as Paladin. You don't have access to the Death Knight. So it is a pretty poor deck to choose in general. Yeah, it's kind of underwhelming, really. A lot of cards like Viricle, they really don't get the value that you'd expect from those cards simply because the Lich King doesn't care about them, doesn't really want to deal with them ever. But you know, some people like Warlock. It's pretty cool. And finally, we come to the last deck, which is Priest. You know, you'll see that in just a minute. As soon as this Warlock, or as soon as the Lich King kills us. As you can see, there's nothing like getting hit by 11 points of damage with the weapon plus a buffed up heroic strike. And finally, that leads us to our final deck of the day, which is Priest. As you can see right here, we got Priest. Priest is the only class that has a card that's not from the hero class, and that is the Ragnaros, the Light Lord. And the rest of the deck is just a very heavy Barnes type list: double Mind Control, double Obsidian Statue, Shadow Reaper Anduin, so you get access to your hero. You get Ragnaros, the Fire Lord. You get Light Bomb. You get Dr. Boom. You get Felon. It's a very interesting spell damage list. It's pretty cool. I didn't exactly know how to build and play it. So I died relatively quickly with this list, as you can see here. All in all, I think the Lich King raid experience is a great addition to the game. I'm really glad with what Blizzard has done here to kind of introduce new players and to have existing players help build their own scenes. My only criticism of it is that there's no unique card back or hero portrait or anything denoting your participation in the raid. Um, you know, so there's really nothing to win, no reward from it. That would be my only complaint, only criticism of the experience. But I look forward to seeing what Blizzard does in the future. What did you guys think? Have you tried the raid? Are you interested in this kind of content for the game? Let me know in the comments, or do you prefer just ladder stuff? Interested to hear what you guys think. Thanks again. Thanks for watching.